Most people have heard of Machu Picchu. After all, it's considered one of the new 7 wonders of the world. But if you ask those same people about its significance, history, or geographic location, many will be less familiar. Hey everybody, I'm Wes Murgard with WorkRemotely, LiveRemotely.com. On today's video, we're going to give you some background on Machu Picchu, discuss how to get to Machu Picchu, and highlight some general tips you should know when visiting. So what is Machu Picchu? When it comes to real estate, it's always about location, 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 and the Incas really nailed it on this one. Part of what makes Machu Picchu so spectacular is its location, saddled between the mountains of Huayna Picchu and Machu Picchu Mountain. Machu Picchu is believed to have been built in the mid-1400s. Some believe it was as a royal estate for the Inca ruler at the time, while others believe it was built as a sacred place of worship. The ruins boast elaborate farming terraces that allowed the Inca people to farm the otherwise challenging mountain terrain. The Inca had a reputation for being masters at building structures out of stone. These well-preserved structures contribute to Machu Picchu's popularity, and while some restoration efforts have surely taken place, it's incredible to believe that over half a millennium later, many of these structures are still standing. The rugged mountain terrain that makes the ruins so breathtaking to walk through is the same terrain that helped protect these ruins from the Spanish. Many other Inca ruin sites throughout present-day Peru were pillaged by the Spaniards after they arrived. Machu Picchu's location allowed it to stay hidden from the foreign invaders, which is why we're still able to visit and enjoy it today. So how do I get to Machu Picchu? First off, I'm operating under the assumption that you'll be using Cusco as a base camp for exploring Peru. From Cusco, you'll either be taking a train or hiking to Machu Picchu. The latter is quite involved, so let's talk about the train logistics first. Pulroy Station is your closest option from Cusco, and you'll want to budget about 45 minutes of driving to reach the station, whether that's by car or bus or taxi. Another option is Ollantaytambo, which is further, but depending on when you book, this may be your only option if Pulroy tickets are already sold out. The goal from either station is to reach the town of Aguas Calientes, which sits at the base of Machu Picchu. Now, ideally, you'll arrive to Aguas Calientes the day or night before your planned visit to Machu Picchu. This will allow you to spend one evening exploring the town of Aguas Calientes. After spending a night shopping and checking out local restaurants in Aguas Calientes, you'll have the option to wake up early and catch the first shuttle bus up to Machu Picchu. Catching an early bus ensures you'll beat the crowds and entrance lines. You will need to buy a bus ticket in advance, which can be done in the town of Aguas Calientes. If a multi-day trek is more your thing, there are 2 popular treks that wind through the surrounding Andes and eventually dump you off in Aguas Calientes. These 2 adventures are known as the Inca Trail and the Salcantay Trek. My brother and I opted for the 5-day Salcantay Trek with Alpaca Expeditions. If you're interested in learning about that experience, I have an entire post dedicated to it on my blog. There's a link in the video description below, so be sure to check that out. Booking through a local operator like Alpaca Expeditions is a great way to go. They'll take care of all the logistics and planning, so pretty much all you need to do is show up with the proper gear. If you have the physical endurance for it, these are great options for reaching Aguas Calientes and Machu Picchu. The build-up to reaching Machu Picchu made the experience that much more memorable and rewarding. During our hike, we visited Humantay Lake, crossed the Salcantay Pass, made coffee from scratch at a local coffee farm, camped overlooking Machu Picchu at the Yactapata campsite, and so much more. If you're looking to immerse yourself in that Peruvian Andes experience, definitely check it out. Now that we've discussed the logistics of reaching Machu Picchu, let's discuss some general tips that you'll want to know before you go. First off, please know that there are no bathrooms inside the ruins. None, nada. Be sure to use the facilities near the entrance because you'll be holding your business for at least a couple hours once you enter the ruins. Also, you're required to have a tour guide when visiting Machu Picchu. We arrived with our guide from Alpaca Expeditions who accompanied us on the Salcantay Trek, but if you don't have a guide booked in advance, don't worry. Near the entrance, you'll find plenty of locals offering up their services as tour guides. In the morning, guides were plentiful near the gate, but it wasn't clear to me if they're any harder to come by later in the day, so maybe just keep that in mind during your visit. If you plan to hike Huayna Picchu or Machu Picchu mountains, you must book reservation tickets ahead of time. These options are very popular and may sell out well in advance. Please know that while small bags are allowed in the ruins, larger hiking bags must be checked near the entrance for a small fee. Like other places in the mountains, weather can be difficult to predict and temperatures will vary widely depending on the time of day, so be sure to dress in layers. On a related note, pack sunscreen. The high mountain sun can be brutal, especially for those of us with fair skin. Perhaps the most important tip on this video is to arrive early. I can't stress this enough. During my visit, we caught the first shuttle up to Machu Picchu around 5:30 in the morning. And this is a good idea for multiple reasons. First off, you won't have to wait very long in the lines to enter the ruins. Later in the day, things can get really backed up. Not only will you avoid the long lines to enter, but you'll also avoid crowds in the ruins themselves. Avoiding lines and avoiding crowds will make your entire experience at Machu Picchu that much better. Another reason to arrive early is that you'll be able to catch the sunrise over Machu Picchu, which is just stunningly beautiful. You want to budget between 2 and 4 hours to explore the ruins. You know, you could breeze through the ruins in as little as 2 hours, but I'd suggest taking your time. We spent about 3 hours ourselves exploring the ruins, and since you have a guide with you, it's actually really nice because they're going to be able to explain to you what you're actually seeing along the way. And if you plan on eating at the restaurant near the entrance or hiking one of the mountains, you'll need to make sure you budget additional time for that. If you found this video guide helpful, be sure to check out the Peru travel guide available on my website by following the link in the video description below. Once again, I'm Wes Murgard with WorkRemotely, LiveRemotely.com. Don't forget to subscribe and be sure to check out some of our other channel content. Thanks for watching.